Hello everybody, welcome to this wonderful reading. I'm Joy Alex, welcome. So basically in this wonderful reading I'm going to provide you is that this can be for a Libra reading. This is for Libra for June 15th to June 21st of 2025. So basically in this wonderful reading I'm going to provide you with the way of how all these answers I'm going to provide you is the way of how it is. So it's the way it seems to be. This is the way of how sporadic it is, but you have to understand what the way how it is. You have to understand the bottom line here, the silver lining. So that's how it is. I'm so sorry that my voice is a bit low today. I'm so sorry about it. But the way how this is, the way how everything's gonna be all great, we have to pay attention to it. We have to understand about how we're going to succeed in life. Because the way of how this is, we have to understand that, right? We have to know about how we can do it in our own, perfection, our own complex, whatever it is. But we have to understand that. We have to believe what we can do, and we have to know what it takes. Or we have to do exactly what we're going to be doing one way or another. We have to do exactly how we're going to be told to do. We have to be responsible. We have to be how we're going to appreciate and do things, and whatever it is. That's how it is, right? So that's what it seems to be. So in this oracle card, it says adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. That's the way it goes. And when you have the way about have your own adversity, you pay attention to it. You pay attention about how you're feeling, the way how you're going to be acting, the way how you can be, how you're going to be, have your own boast or moves, what it is. And you have to do exactly what you're told to do. That's the way it seems to be. That it's like, okay, I know what to do, I got this, but then that's how it seems to be. You have to know what it takes. So when you use your own adversity, you know how you're feeling, but the way how this is, you have to know exactly what it takes, because you have to do exactly what you're told to do. You have to be responsible of how you're feeling. That's why it seems to be that, right? So when you're imposing about that situation, you have to know what it takes, but then when you have the adversity on your side, you pay attention to it, on how it is, okay? So let's see what's happening. Let's see what's going on here. So in this wonderful reading, I'm going to provide you, it's very interesting indeed, because the way how this is, the way how everything is going to be, how it is in one or another way, we have to believe on how it is. In that way, we have to be mindful about how we're feeling, how we're going to limit our own expectations and how we're feeling. This is the way of how we can understand how we're feeling in one or another. We have to do exactly what it is, and we have to do exactly what it takes. So we have to be who we are, and we have to know about how we can understand how we're feeling. That's why it seems to be that, right? That's the way it is. So let me try to figure out what's going on with this reading here today. This is the way it kind of understands about how it is one another. And this is the way it seems to be in that way, because you have to know what it takes. So it's the way it seems to be. And what, Libra, you have to pay attention on how it's going to be in that way. And you have to do exactly what it is. So let's see what's going on in this one tarot reading, shall we? So in this wonderful reading, we have to pay attention on how we're going to be doing it. If the King of Wands represents passion, it does represent that. It does represent Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Queen of Wands represents charisma, it does represent that. So it does represent Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. The Tower is upright because there's transformation. Everything is changing, that's the way it goes. Knight cups reversed, there's no romance here, nothing about it. Two Pentacles reversed, you're not balancing two things at once because everything is out of control. The Seven Cups reversed, there's no delusion, there's nothing about that. And the Chariot is upright, there's basically progress here, right? So we have to understand about when we're going to be mindful about how we're feeling, the way how this is, the way how we're going to impose about this situation. We have to understand that, right? we have to believe that when we have our own adversity, we pay attention about how we're going to progress about these challenges and the best way we learn and all that stuff, right? That's why this is just how reference it is, and this is the way how it seems to be. We have to know about how we're going to imply about this situation. We have to know about all these things that we have to negotiate and do things, and we have to provide what we're looking for. So it's based on how we're going to do that. So let's see. Let's see what's going on from the past situation. So let me look at the King Wands, and then I'll go all the way around. Queen of Swords is upright, 3 Pentacles reversed, followed by the 2 of Swords reversed, followed by the Son of Wands reversed, followed by the King of Wands reversed, followed by the Ace of Wands is alright, yeah, because there is new beginnings here, because you're trying to have what it takes. The Queen of Swords does represent where you might be having your own independence. Maybe you're going to be showing that. Maybe there are things that you must learn first. So you could be dealing with generally the request you're dealing with in a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. That's the way it goes. So it's like, okay, everything seems to be fine. I got to do it. That's the way it goes. That's how it is. Let's have something with this Queen Wands here. The Ten of Cups is upright. Knight of Swords is upright. Yeah, because you're feeling like everything's completed, but then you're having drama, So when you're having drama, it's like, why are you doing it, right? It's not drama, but you're acting. It's not that kind of drama. Basically, when you have completion, everything is all completed, right? Everything has to be all great, but then it's like, how would you do it? How would you master your own disguise about how you're feeling, right? That's why you need to understand about what's going on in that way and thinking, okay, well, this is the way it seems to be. I know what to do, but then you have to understand what it takes. So you have to do exactly what you're told to do, because that's the way it goes, right? You have to influence how you're feeling in that way, and you're thinking, okay, well, everything seems to be fine, I got this. But then it's like, how would you do that? You're not trying to intervene or whatever it is, but you have to negotiate how you're feeling. That's why it seems to be that, Libra. What's between the Tower all the way to the Seven of Cups here? The Seven of Swords is reversed, the Moon reversed, the Seven of Pentacles reversed, followed by the Eight of Cups is upright. Yeah, because you want to be an entertainer, you want to entertain, you want to do exactly what you're told to do, but you're feeling like there's something that was happening that way. It's like, why are you feeling like it? Because that's how it is. You need to impose what you're looking for. This is based on that. It's based on how you're feeling, the way how you're going to be complex, whatever it is, because that's how it is, right? This is not a turnover. This is not the way of how things are, but it's like, okay, well, I know what to do, I got this, but then it's like, okay, you need to do that, right? You have to divine what you're looking for in that way. It's like, okay, I know what to do. What's between the Seven of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Seven of Swords? The Three of Cups is upright, yeah, because you want to have a celebration, right? You want to know about how you're feeling, the way how it is, because that's the way it seems to be. And when you have the ability about hanging out with your friends, or you're going out for drinks, or whatever it is, you're trying to know what it takes, right? But you have to understand about the way how you're feeling, the way how you can do it, and master your own disguise about how you're feeling. That's the way it goes, right? What's between the Nine of Cups and the Two of Pentacles? The High Priestess is upright, followed by the Hermit reverse, followed by the Queen of Pentacles is upright. Yeah, because you might be a working person. That's how it is. You already found your soulmate. It could be that. But the way how this is, the way how you're going to negotiate and how you're feeling, that's the way it seems to be. It's like everything has to be all good, but then that's how it is. What's happening with this Hermit card, please? The Judgment is alright, yeah, because you're basically saying that you want to take action. You want to know what you're doing, because that's how it is. You have to believe what you're doing, because you have to understand that. You have to understand the way how you're feeling, the way you're going to impress about how you're going to do it, because in many ways, right? That's why that this is just how boasting it is, because that's how it is. So you can be dealing with an Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. You can deal with an Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. You can deal with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You're dealing with a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Like they're all these zodiac signs you pay attention to, and that's how it is, right? So you have to pay attention on how you're feeling, because you have to understand that, right? Because there's a good saying is like where you know what to do, but there is always a silver lining to every single situation, you know. That's why it is that, because when you use the word adversity, you pay attention to it. That's why it seems to be that, right? Because everything has to be all great, all, you know, how it is, you know, that's how it is, and that's the way it seems to be. You have to know what it takes, and you do exactly what you're told to do. You have to be responsible of how you're feeling, because that's the way it seems to be. You have to know what it takes in that way, right? You have to have your own priorities in that way, right? You have to make your own bold move of knowing what to do, right? That's how it is. And you're thinking, all right, I know what to do, I got this. It's like, yeah, but then you have to understand that, right? That's why it seems to be. So let's see what the universe is saying. So I'm going to go from the middle to the right, middle to the left. So the Nine of Pentacles is upright, Hangman is upright, follow the Empress is upright, follow the Six of Wands is upright, follow the Eight of Cups reversed, follow the Seven of Wands reversed, followed by the Four of Wands is upright. Yeah. So basically it means that on what I just said is that when you have the Nine of Pentacles, you're feeling comfortable, the Hangman is upright, there's restrictions, the Empress is upright, there's nourishment, the Six of Wands is upright, there's celebration here. And then the Four of Wands is upright, where there is celebration, but you might be going to a wedding, maybe you're not, but it all depends on your point of view. You know, that's how it is. So you could be dealing with a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, you can deal with a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, but that's how it is, right? Because you're feeling comfortable, you're feeling about the way how this is. And you know what, Libra, you pay attention on how you're feeling, that's why it is. Let's go from the middle to the left side. The Knight of Swords is upright, there's drama. The King of Pentacles is upright, there's prosperity kind of thing. The Strength card is upright, you're being brave. Five of Wands reversed, there's no chaos. Hermit is upright, there's solitude because you might be looking for a soulmate. And the Devil is upright because there's violence. It could be that, because it's like, why are you feeling like this? Why you're doing this whole entire you know, complications of how you're feeling. It's like, why are you doing this? Because that's how it is. You need to understand the way how you're feeling, the way how you act, the way how you can, you know, do exactly what you're told to do, because you have to do exactly what it takes. So let's see what the universe is saying here. So I'm going to go from the middle to left, middle to the right, middle to left. So page 1 to yours, there's no invention. 3 cups start, there's celebration. 6 Pentacles zeros, there's no kindness. Justice reverse, there's no action. Knight of Wands is upright, there's immaturity. Yeah, because that's how it is, right? So when you have no kindness, you're not being kind, right? Because everything is not going your way. But let me see what this kindness is. 8 of Wands zeros, there's no new beginnings. The 10 Pentacles upright, there's wealth. 2 of Swords reversed. 5 of Pentacles reversed. The Strength card is upright, yeah, because you want to be brave, right? You want to have bravery, because you need to understand that if you have money, if you have self-respect, you do exactly what you're told to do. That's the way it goes, right? So you have to understand that, right? What's in the middle to the left side, please? Magician is upright, so you have skill. The King of Pentacles here, there's no security. The High Priest is upright, you're going to use your inner voice. 7 of Swords are they're feeling deceit. The Emperor reverse, there's no structure. 9 of Pentacles alright, there's trust. 9 of Swords are there's drama. Yeah, that's the way it goes, right? Because you're feeling like this is not going to end well. It's not. What's in the middle? Queen of Pentacles is alright, because there's stability. Yeah, because the way how this is, the way how you're going to grasp how you're feeling, that's the way it seems to be. That's why you need to understand that, because that's the way it goes. If you look upon your own ways about how you're feeling, that's the way it goes, right? That's how it is. So you have to understand that. But that's how it is. So before I let you all go, try to pay attention about this whole entire reading. Pay attention about how you're feeling. Pay attention about how you're going to do that. That's the way it goes. And when you do that, you have to know what it takes in that way. You have to be satisfactory. You have to know what it takes. You have your own regulations, your own restrictions, whatever it is, because that's how it is. You have to know what it takes. And you have to understand about how you're feeling in one or another. You have to take back of how you're feeling in one way. You have to know about what it takes. You have to know exactly how it is, and that's how it is. So you have to understand that, right? But you have to believe that everything is going to be a good way about knowing what to do, and you have to say, alright, I know what to do, I got this. But then that's how it is. So that's why it seems to be that. So I hope you all like this video. Please give a like, please give a comment and enjoy, because this is the way it seems to be, and this is the way it kind of goes. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to all, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, and bye for now. Really, thank you.